In this video, we're going to talk about what are the symptoms of the mold infection that you're likely to suffer from. First is brain fog, which is very common. It clouds your brain and hampers your ability to think straight, to make decisions. You could see yourself giving a delayed response and stuff like that. Then sinusitis is another common symptom that you're likely to experience. Sinus infections, dry cough, chest congestion, because it affects liver and kidney particularly. The Ochratoxin A, the mycotoxin that it produces. Also, you're likely to see the darkening of your skin, your facial skin. If it's spread in your entire body, then even your face, whenever you eat sugar or drink alcohol, you'll see that your skin darkens, your facial skin becomes dark. Vaginal itching is another common symptom of fungal infection. If you have frequent vaginal itching, then you must get yourself checked up for fungal infection. Then we have intensified sugar cravings. So you're likely to eat sugar more. Your body will crave sugar more, and that's not your body actually, it's actually the mold, because mold likes to feed on sugar. Also, it leads to a lot of nutrient deficiencies, so that's another reason due to which you might feel chronic fatigue. There is cough, there is sneezing, there are headaches, there are body aches and all, because it also leads to inflammation in the body, and all of this together makes you feel weak, and that's why you may suffer from chronic fatigue. Then you can also experience neck and muscle stiffness, for which I would recommend going to a chiropractor. That really helps. So you can have body aches and pains as well. Then another common symptom is food sensitivities. So you may suddenly feel that you've become allergic to certain food items or certain food types, such as gluten. So you may not tolerate wheat well, or dairy or peanuts, and whenever you eat sugar, especially refined sugar, your symptoms get worsen, or your symptoms get worse, or your symptoms worsen. Also, there's unexplainable weight gain in some cases, but there's also weight loss in some cases. So weight loss due to nutrient deficiencies, it leads to malabsorption of food in the body, because your fungus is competing for the nutrients all the time. So due to which you may experience weight loss, but in some cases it leads to a lot of bloating. Yes, another symptom is gas and bloating, guys, and like I said, chest congestion. So that may lead to unexplainable weight gain, because you might feel hungry all the time. Like in my case, I used to eat every 2 hours. Every 2 hours I would be like, I want to eat, I'm hungry again, and I was putting on weight for no reason. So I was like, everybody eats like that, but they're not putting up weight. Why am I putting on so much weight? So also I noticed that whenever I would go to gym, I would lose weight, but then it'll all come back again immediately. So that was another reason, that was another indication that there's something wrong with my body, and one of the reasons was that I had mold infection. So kind of hard to diagnose and identify, but you should not leave any stone unturned if you feel that you've been to many doctors and doctors have not been able to diagnose your problem, your health issue. Then this is what you've not gotten checked, or this is what you've left unturned. Okay, in my next video, I'm going to talk about how does a mold infection affect human health, or what impact does it have on your health. In this video, I'm going to talk about how does mold infection, the Ochratoxin A, affect human health. So it is shown to be toxic and carcinogenic to both humans and animals. Studies have shown that, research studies have shown that it causes toxicity and cancer in both humans and animals, but that is a long-term effect if it's not treated when it's diagnosed. Point is, it is an infection that typically affects the skin or the mucous membranes and live in places such as mouth, throat, gut and vagina. And how do they do that, guys? They do it by creating biofilms. Very important. I'm gonna make a separate video on biofilms, or I'm gonna try and explain biofilms in the same video here, in this one right after this. So they do so by creating biofilms, and biofilms are nothing but, they build a wall. So there are walls that they build around them and live in them so that they can become resistant to body's own immune system or body's own immune defense system. So they do so by creating biofilms, building a wall around them in the human body so that they can protect themselves. So basically they create a wall around themselves and then they start living in that shelter. So it's like they create a shelter around them and they start living in that shelter so that they can protect themselves from the body's own immune system. This is why they are resistant to antibiotics and other drugs as well. So what do we need to do? We need to first break the biofilm. Then fifth point is, there are several causes of mold infection, but the main one is linked to having a leaky gut or intestinal permeability. So guys, leaky gut refers to having holes in your gut, okay, and you could have holes in your gut due to several reasons. One of the reasons is that you are allergic to gluten, dairy, peanuts, refined sugar, or you have gastritis. That can also lead to leaky gut. The walls of your gut are not strong enough to digest the food properly. Also, it could be that you have gut dysbiosis, that you lack good bacteria to digest the food in the first place, which then leads to leaky gut. So another reason is intestinal permeability, which means that you could have holes in your intestines. So again, that is linked to the poor absorption of nutrients in the body and is also linked to the malabsorption of food or the indigestion of the food in the body. Okay, another reason is that you have a weak immune system. Of course, this could be due to gut dysbiosis and lack of vitamin D and other vitamins and minerals in the body. And the next one is gene susceptibility. So some people contain genes that are susceptible to mold infection, like I am one of them in my family. We had the mold spread in our bathroom because our bathroom was really old. There was no ventilation. So slowly and steadily, the mold started growing underneath the wallpaper in the bathroom because the wallpaper used to stay wet because of the poor ventilation. The exhaust had gotten old, it wasn't working properly, we didn't pay attention. And after some time we saw that there is mold cropping up underneath the wallpaper. And out of all the family members, I am the one who got the mold infection and nobody else. So my brother used to take shower in the same bathroom. He didn't have it, thank God. I'm very glad. But I'm the only one who contracted the mold infection. So that means that my genes were already susceptible to it. It was written in the genes, it was in my DNA. And this could be probably because it was a generational curse. So it is also related to the spiritual imbalance of spiritual energies in the body. Okay, and I'm going to explain that too later in my subsequent videos. So what should you do? Now you know that you have leaky gut, you have weak immune system, there's intestinal permeability, there's gene susceptibility, due to which you've got mold infection, right? First step you should do is drop all the inflammatory foods such as gluten, dairy, peanuts, uh, refined sugar, processed cereals, white flour, everything that that is not wholesome, that does not come from nature, should be dropped immediately. Okay, so fiber is good in case of mold infection, but if you have SIBO or IBS issues, stay away from fiber as well. But sugar is the main culprit here in case of mold infection. Alright, now our next step is to work on our leaky gut, building up your immune system, fixing the intestinal permeability and gene susceptibility and all. But in my next segment here in the same video, I'm going to talk about what are biofilms. This is very important, guys, and I want you to have an understanding of it, because if you get onto the medications like antibiotics or antifungals, the herbal antifungals, we first need to break down the biofilm. Otherwise, these antibiotics or drugs will not work and they're just going to waste. So let's understand what are biofilms, how are they formed, and how can they be broken down.